crap. This is awful. There's no picture. Oh, come on. There we go. Show me the green light. Hurry up. What is the problem? Damn. Are you saying it's all good now, Hummingbird? I don't have the green light. Viewers are experiencing some minor issues. I'm getting the yellow light instead of the green or the orange. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to continue through with the smudge and hope that this works its way out. I'm on a fresh reboot of everything. Rebooted the modem, rebooted the system. There's nothing else running. Just my system, that's it. There shouldn't be a problem. Especially at this time of night, 1:55 a.m. I don't know. I got one neighbor up. He lives across the road and up a bit. And all you can hear is boom, 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 boom coming from his place. Sound carries real easy here. Yeah, 1:56 a.m. Video is good? Okay, good. But I still have the yellow. I still have that orange yellow. It should be green. I don't know what's going on. That's enough smudge for me tonight. Here's the first. I've never done that before. I don't really need it. I've been smudging here all day. But you guys could use it, right? This is the last reading for July 2019. Is the sign of Gemini. There we go. All done. There. I probably got black all over me. There was a little bit of black soot floating around. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Hummingbird. I'm glad you enjoyed that too. Okay, so I'm going to get into the shuffle here. What a beautiful night. I wish I could open my door. I wouldn't open it, just on the off chance that a June bug would find its way in. I got one sitting right there. He's been looking over my shoulder all night. This is for all three. Did I say that yet? Your sun sign, your rising, your moon. I don't remember if I said that or not. Remember, these are general readings, which may or may not resonate with you. We've got an eclipse coming up. We're not going to see it here in my part of the world. That's today, isn't it? The 2nd? I think it's today. And because we are officially Tuesday now, where I'm at. It's officially the 2nd. Okay. One more. Excuse my state of being. The nails are polish is chipped off today, and hair not done. Not this time of night. I'm gonna cut right here. Oh my goodness sakes. All right, I'm going to consult with Lilith to make sure there's an agreement here. She said no earlier, and I had to redo it. Lilith, as this deck stands, at the top 5 cards. The cards that are meant for this free general public reading for the sign of Gemini for the month of July for the year 2019. The top 5 cards, the cards that are meant for this free public general reading for Gemini. She's wasting no time at all. She's saying this is the last reading of the night. Yahoo! She's very, very sharp, quick, and alert right now. Okay. Excuse me. Haven't had a cold in a long time. And although I feel good, this is all the stuff and the gunk that's left over, the residual. Very first card we're looking at. The Queen of Pentacles. She's all about kindness. Where's my mirror? I need my window so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. All right. Okie dokie. Either that's I've got wildlife in my backyard. I can hear it. The second card is your wealth, your finances. You got the card of strength and stability. The next card we're looking at here. Oh. This is within your hearth, your home, relationships, family, friends. The Tower. Sorry. Your challenges, should there be any. Oh, very nice. Knight of Cups. Wish. Aha. The Wish card. And your last card, your message from Spirit. Page of Wands. Creativity. And I forgot to pull the camera down for you guys. I'm sorry, but here's your spread. Here's your spread right here. It's all looking good. It's a little bit of turbulence at home for some of you. To just excuse me for a moment. Oh my goodness sakes. And I'm all tangled up in something here. I'll just be a moment. Thought it was you. Brucey the raccoon. Just turned the light on to see what it was. Okay, I'm back. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, Gemini, you don't make things easy, do you, with some of the cards you come up with here? Alright. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. This is the overall energy, so this is a good thing because she's a good card. She carries a warm energy about her. This is somebody that's, or at least the very energy of it, is an energy that's going to keep you with both feet on the ground. You're going to be you're going to be more realistic than you have been in a long time. You're going to have a tendency to want to use more the logical side of your brain rather than the emotional side of your brain. She's a beauty. She brings so much goodness with her. And you're lucky to have her come into your reading as your overall energy. Really, she brings sense to the confusion of anything. She brings clarity. This is a very affectionate energy, generous to a fault. Wisdom comes into play with this energy as well. We want these things in our lives. Sometimes we want predictability, especially with Gemini. Sometimes that's what they call to themselves. They want predictable in their life. I know a couple Geminis, and sweethearts that they are. They're also A-type personalities, bordering on nerdism. They don't see humanity, not humanity, but they don't see human nature the way maybe I would. They don't. They're hard to explain. Wow. How do you define a Gemini? And you know what? Gemini readings are the ones it's like there's not as many Geminis in the world as there are other signs. They're usually my lower numbers. Unless I have a phenomenal reading and I caption it as so, then it draws attention. But outside of that, Gemini seems to be... I have got these mother-sized moths, like the size of my flipping hand, banging against my window here, trying to get in. What is it with the light? Is that a metaphor with moths and bugs and June bugs? They'll body slam the windows. They'll throw themselves right at the glass to get at the light. I don't know, maybe we're doing it all wrong. We're always running away from that light. We don't want to welcome that light into our lives too quickly. This energy represents somebody that's a lover of nature, a lover of home. She represents home. This energy has a feeling of home and safetyness and sweetness, love and warmth. She also has an energy of being very, very practical. Again, one of the first things that came up was you keeping your feet on the ground during the month of July. There's a very down-to-earth quality about this energy that's coming in, where everything that's real in life, it seems to be just a fingertip away. Just you're noticing the more natural elements in your life at this time. And I'm not sure what that's all about. But yes. Not the black and white. Not the... You're not noticing the black and white. You're not noticing... steel and plastic. I don't know, because the Geminis that I know are very a brainiac kind of thing, highly intelligent. Like I said, nerdism going on there a little bit, but they're sweethearts all the way. What are you doing out there on my deck? Oh, that damn thing. Brucey, go home. Go to the other house you go to. They let you in. I know they do. You're not getting in here, cute as you are. They are unique. Geminis are unique. They truly, truly are. But when it comes to human nature, they're not the sharpest tool in the shed. Because they're more about black and white. They're more about logic. They're more about intellect. They're more about facts. They're not about so much emotions. They're not about... They don't just think something. They don't just assume anything. They approach everything from a logical point of view. They're very much a Sheldon Cooper. A lot of them are just like that. And that same mentality, the same way the brain works. Things are a little different, and there's a bit of a twist on things during July for you. Gemini, you're like I said, you're not being drawn to those kind of things. You're more drawn to these elemental things, textures, tastes, smells, experience and new experiences with these things. Why are you feeling so drawn all of a sudden to something like that? Basically drawn to nature, the real elements that surround us. You're like almost super sensitive all of a sudden. It's not going to hurt you any, Gemini, or anybody that you know that's Gemini. It's not going to hurt. If anything, it's going to take the square box, the rectangle that Gemini lives within. A lot of Geminis, not every one of them. This is a general reading. And what it's going to do, these experiences, being drawn into basically the basic natural elements of life and living, all of a sudden you're seeing them for the first time, it seems. It's going to take that box, that rectangle, it's going to soften the corners out and soften the edges off. This is your world, and you're in the middle of it, and things are going to get softened up. Yeah, Gemini. This is a really weird card for you guys. This is weird for anybody. Being still very practical and still very down. You're still practical and logical. You're not losing anything. You're becoming more well-rounded as a human being. This card's also wanting you to focus in on any key tasks that you have going on at this time. Your money, your financial end of things, is spend your money wisely. Ask yourself, is this a need? Is this a want? If it is a want and something's on sale, or you're able to grab at something that you've been wanting for a long time, when will you have to be rational? When will this chance come around again if you let this go by? If it's rarely a rare opportunity comes up, and if it's truly rare, it's not just you being impulsive or impatient. If it's truly rare, then go ahead and move forward and claim whatever it is that you're wanting. Outside of that, try to keep the balance there. This isn't a month for spending big. This is a month for finding a comfortable balance where you're not feeling the pinch, but you're not feeling over extravagant. So you're just basically paying attention to your basic needs. You'll be fine by the end of the month. Bills are paid and your needs are seen to, and maybe a little want here and a little bit want there. You can't go completely run yourself dry, and you're not going to be doing that either. So we're looking here. This is way too long for one card. Oh my goodness, Natalie. See what I mean? It's like I get into the card and I see so much going on. Yeah, there's the generic meaning, right? But there's so much more coming in, and there's so much more going on. And it being a general reading makes it even more so, because the message affects everybody in a very different way. Hunker down with things that you have on the go right now, things that are important to you. Throw yourself into them. The advice of this card is for you to be more hands-on within your own world and other people. Be more hands-on, become more involved. Give practical help if you see a need and you're able to fill it, move forward and fill the need. Share your knowledge with others. One thing about Gemini, sometimes they get a little know-it-all on us. You know, kind of dismiss our thoughts. I hate when people do that. Don't dismiss my words. Don't do that. And sometimes they will do that. They have this tendency to do it. They're really not thinking that they're hurting anybody's feelings. They're not thinking that. They're not getting all emotional about it. Why would anybody? That's the furthest thing from their mind. It's the way they deliver the message sometimes and deliver their knowledge. It's just craziness the way they can act at times. It's comical. They're adorable, they're quirky, they're comical. Just give help where you see that it's needed. Don't ask 1,000 questions about it. And if you see somebody completely lost in whatever it is they're doing, they don't know which way, and you're figured it out under 3 seconds flat, go over and help them out with it. Don't ridicule. Don't talk down. Don't just think in the moment. Try to empathize. Some of you need to hear that. This is a general reading. This isn't for every single Gemini viewing this, or even I call them crotch watchers. Oh my God, because I have a hard time getting out the word cross watchers. It comes out as crotch, and I don't know why. Crotch watchers. Oh God. Just put yourself in someone else's shoe. If you're viewing somebody and watching them, and you see them struggling, you already know what the problem is. Be kind and go over and help that person out. Don't you wish somebody would help you out when you get stuck? I know some people would say, yeah, nobody helped me out, so why should I? That's a really bad attitude to have. But Gemini is so logical in so many ways, the way they view everything. They really are. But that's what makes them adorable. That is what makes them quirky. That is what makes them very, very unique as well. We're looking here. Your keywords are generosity. There's growth here. Money, comfort, love, nature, children, and animals. This is a big card. This is weighing all these things out of one card. All these words to cover this one card. That's just craziness. That's what happens. That's why I don't put a time limit on my private readings, because that's what happens. You can't predict what's going to come through. These, yes, the cards and the prompts, they're a go-to. They're a lead-in for me. But overall, it's all coming through. A spirit. Our second card here we're looking at the card of strength and stability within your financial sector. In most part, it's standing, being brave and forging forward and not letting anything stop you. Really putting in, giving everything all you got. We're talking this kind of a thing. You're giving everything all you've got. Wow. You are too. Stand your ground in any area of your life where you need to do that. You need to stand up for yourself, or stand up for others, or stand up for a principle of some kind. You're being encouraged to stand your ground. You're going to need extra patience with some people that you're dealing with. Oh, this is awful. You know what I just seen for somebody? Doing a sales, right? You've delivered the product. And they're like, okay, thanks, was great. We'll see you now. And they they haven't paid you. They haven't given you where it's sent. You're left in a very awkward situation. In Gemini, you're being thrown for a loop here because you're not used to dealing with anything like this. And you're like, wait a minute. There's a feeling of awkwardness here within this card. You're going to have to be more aggressive, more forthcoming, really, to the point it's like in somebody's face, like you really got it in their face, say, excuse me, were you going to transfer the money to my bank account? Do you have cash for the payment? And you're going to have to get right back in their face the way they just kind of blew you off, kind of a thing. You have to be really assertive when it comes to things like this. And this represents a lot of different metaphors as well. Because it means something different for an awful lot of people. Don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed by what others think. Remember as well, whatever is opposite of you, whatever is opposing you, is lower than you are. Opposition is in a negative connotation. Opposition is always placed in negative light, where agreement, congeniality, and all that good stuff's all seen in a positive light. So anything that's negative, and you had nothing, your hands are not on this at all. It's coming from an outside force, we'll say. Remember, the energy there is lower than you are. You are above it. You rise above that. Therefore, you're in a better position. Pity help the fool. That could come and take you on. In that situation, don't let anybody try to bully you. Some Geminis have an innocence about them and an innocent side. And even so, with the type of personalities that I spoke about earlier, about being A-type and that, they have an innocent side to them. They're not used to dealing, like I said, with the human traits, human compulsions. Some of them don't fit into the everyday things in the everyday world. They get up, they have a purpose, they follow through with that purpose. They see things very logically a lot of the time. Logic's their world a lot of the time. There's probably a lot of Gemini say, well, I don't know, I'm not like that, I'm not like that. Then you're not one of them. We're not all identical to each other just because we're all the same sign. We have our own quirks. That's what makes us all individuals. But when these things are coming out in a reading, that's what they're geared to. Maybe you're not like that and it's not geared to you. It's not resonating with you. This card is not resonating with you at all. And then other people are like, well, yeah, I do tend to be kind of black and white sometimes. And life isn't black and white, is it? No, it isn't. They're shades of gray. And then the best part is there's pops of color all the way through life and living every day. But don't let anybody intimidate you or bully you in any way. Also, you can go ahead, for those of you that are on the softer side of things, you can go ahead and you can have compassion for other people. And here is the nice side of Gemini, is somebody could take advantage of that. They could take advantage of your good nature, your goodwill, because you're such a nice person, right? Stamped right here. And people on the other side of that think that when they see nice stamped across your head, they think that's weak and stupid, easily manipulated. No, it's not. And don't ever stop being a nice person because of those bad people that think that they can take advantage of you. Don't ever try to put on this big, hard, tough exterior because of that. Still be yourself. And take joy out of shocking the hell out of people. Yeah, I'm a nice person. I ain't nobody's fool. It's as simple as that. And set people straight. That's what you need to do. Why would you do anything like that for nothing? I hear you saying to somebody else, why would I ever do all that for somebody that I barely know and do it all for nothing? Just because I'm nice doesn't mean I'm crazy. I'm not stupid. You know, this sort of a thing. Standing forward for some of you and you're letting a few people know you aren't going to just walk in here and mess around with me and take advantage of me. It's not going to happen. So good for you. Just don't let yourself to be taken advantage of. This card, overall, it shows the strength of character. All right? What are the courage of you? Do you have the courage of your own convictions? When you claim or you state something, are you ready to back it up? Are you ready to defend it? Are you ready to do the right thing all the time? Check your integrity. Is it in its rightful place? Right? Setting boundaries for other people as well. And making sure those boundaries are strong. There's some things you just don't let people step over or walk into. This is an emotional card. This is, wow. This card sometimes as well, Gemini, for any of you that have been knocked back physically, mentally, and emotionally, you've been on your back kind of a thing. You've been ill in any kind of way. You're slowly, some of you could be slowly coming back, because sometimes this card means literal return of physical health. even mental health, emotional health. It is the return. Your health level's coming back to normal again. You've been down for a while. The advice to this card, it's for you to stand firm. And you always take the higher moral ground. In other words, do the right thing no matter what somebody tempts you with. I still feel that. You're still riding on that. That whole, I look like I'm easily manipulated thing. I'm still feeling that for you. That's got to ring true with somebody. Finding that others are usually try to take, and they try to take advantage of you. People that are lesser of character. Do you know what I'm saying? Opportunist. Take the higher moral ground. Always do the right thing, Gemini. I think you will. I don't think you need to be told that. If you find yourself in a challenging situation, just know that there's no need for you to compromise anything. And there's no reason for you to panic in any way, shape, or form either. You stand your ground. You have just as much right to stand your ground and have the courage of your own conviction as the person on the other side standing on theirs. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes in reality. This is a card of courage and patience, endurance, risk, balance. And vitality. It's a beautiful card. It says too much. There's just too much to these cards. There's too much to these cards. Don't let anybody take from you what is rightfully yours. I see a bit of a blurb in the financial sector, but not a heck of a lot. Anybody's bank accounts that have been down a bit too long is going to there's going to be a comeback. You're going to rise back in again. Wow. Your next card here, we're looking at the hearth and home in your relationships. I'm hearing a close call. Gemini. Close call to having what? Almost losing something by the skin of their teeth. What is it? This is a relationship of some kind. This is the Tower and the Rider-Waite. In this deck of the Oceanic, what we have here is a ship caught in a perfect storm. And it basically does resemble the symbolism of the Tower with getting struck by lightning, the fire. They're not showing anybody jumping ship. If they did, they wouldn't survive for 2 seconds. They'd be swallowed up by the sea. These are sudden occurrences. Anything that has been destroyed in your life, they say you've just come through something and you feel like you lost complete control of your life or you lost everything in your life. This card is also here sometimes to tell you the message coming through is that you're going to be given the opportunity to regain what was lost, to rebuild what has fallen. You'll probably end up more further ahead than if it didn't happen. A strange way to get a boost or a kick ahead, right, is to lose everything first. I don't know. Who am I to question this? This is just what it's all about. But feeling like everything for somebody that your whole world is falling apart. Usually unexpected, and unexpected happening within the family sector. There could be a separation of some kind. Not saying this for everybody. Remember that. Some of these cards are intense. I know they are. Doesn't mean they're meant for you specifically. You know, I've had other people that work in the metaphysical become good friends. And then they listen and do whatever their reading is when I'm doing the readings. And some of the cards get dark. And some of the cards bring forth a lot of truth. And they end up messaging me saying, I'm not like that. What are you saying that for? And I'm going, what? If you get that caught up in a reading, you shouldn't even be in that world or that life. And I'm like, all right, I'm not putting up with this crap. I say, you should know better. This is big capital letters. This is a general reading. You of all people should know what that means, and you should know better. I didn't just give you a private reading in front of 12,000 people. Are you out of your mind? Shake the reality, right? Come back to planet Earth here. Come back to reality, you know. And they felt really foolish after the fact, you know. But hey, you know, none of this has to be written in stone. We all have the power to change things. Destiny would prefer we travel a certain path because everything's been predestined. That's what I believe. We have our free will. I say this a lot. A lot of you guys hear this. And you're given a crossroads. You can go this way. And destiny's pushing you. All the signs are telling you, go this way. Then you got this little fire in you that says, I don't want to go that way. The only reason you don't want to go that way, Gemini, is because you were told to go that way. Gemini says, I want to go this way. The experience, the journey to the destination will be very different compared to the two. You'll never know this one because you brushed it off, even though Destiny was trying to make the journey a little easier, and to learn some kind of lessons along the way that you need to learn. You refused. There's your free will. You chose to go this way. The experiences and the lessons learned, completely different. That's okay. Here's the funny part. For all that avoidance and all that stick-with-itness, and I'm doing what I want to do and the way I want to do it, because destiny is pre-written. I really believe that. You're still going to end up in the exact same place that was pre-written. Doesn't matter how you get there. It's just a personal choice of taste. You know what I mean? So, it's food for thought. But there's going to be shock. There's something coming out of left field for somebody. But it's going to be followed by a breakthrough. Once the shock comes through, it's like something's going to click, and you're going, oh my God. All these things that were not adding up, that were kind of curious, that were going on, and nothing seemed to add up. Everything was a little weird, a little bit off. And all of a sudden, all the lights are coming on. Talk about epiphanies. All the lights are coming on. All these things that have been nagging at you, things that didn't feel right, are now all going to make sense. It's like every light just came on in the world, and there's no more shadows. There's nothing hiding. Everything is above board. Everything is out in the open. This does affect your home life, your heart life, your love life, your everything that's close to you. After the shock, there will be breakthroughs. There will be enlightenment. And you'll be maybe even, for some of you, seeing the world in a whole different light at this point. This could be part of it. But the best part is rebuilding what has fallen. Do not fear what you have lost. I'm feeling that, panic almost to tell you really quickly. Do not fear what you have lost. Do not fear. Do not break. Do not fall. Do not give in. Do not give up. Anything that any of you have lost, you're going to gain it back, and you're really going to secure it in. Nothing, whatever it was you lost was never really truly secured in. You never claimed it as yours. Somebody else come along and said, well, you don't want to claim it, I will. And all of a sudden panic goes in, and whatever it was that you didn't bother, you're too lazy to claim as your own, to put the effort and the work and the claim in, all of a sudden panic sets in. And you're like, oh, hey, whoa, that's mine. Like in a relationship, if you don't covet what you have, if you don't hold close to you, if you don't claim it as yours, this person is yours and you are theirs. You know what I mean? You don't own each other, but it's, if you don't claim, somebody else is going to come along and say, man, hey, if you don't want to claim it, I will. And away they go, and all of a sudden, all the alarm bobs, the reality of it all kicks in. And you know one to blame but yourself in a case like that. You don't claim. You just assumed. I'm hearing for somebody just assumed. Not everybody's going to assume. You have to make that claim to say, no, they belong with me, I belong with them. We belong together. We are taken. So this is the weirdest friggin' message. Very strange indeed. Once you get back, and you know that scare's been put in, you don't want to feel that again, so you pull this person back into your life again. And you really lavish them with appreciation. And in that moment, there's a new establishment made between two people. Then now you're established. Now you have consciously, visually, and verbally have confirmed that yes, we are exclusive to each other. Yes, we're going to take this to the next level and let no man put us under, as they say, kind of a thing. Surrender to the universe when things get to be too big. Give up your control. Let the universe step in and kind of lead the way for a bit. Enjoy that. Take that ride. It's a break. And you may develop, as I said, a new way of looking at the world, a new way of living. You know what? I'm feeling for some Geminis that they will turn a corner that's similar to that. And you're going to feel like for the first time in a long time, you're able to breathe. You're feeling a lot freer. You feel like you have more, it's a metaphor about more elbow room in your life, more comfortable in your own skin, of finding your place in your own life. Becoming established. Your keywords for this card are breakdowns and endings. Chaos, surrender, breakthroughs, beginnings. A beautiful word at the very end, the word enlightenment. Your next card we're looking at here is the Nine of Cups. And we're looking at a wish. And I don't call this much of a challenge. The challenge would be, is maybe you don't believe. Do you not believe? This is where the struggle can be, but you know what? I think you do believe for the Geminis that are present, or you wouldn't be here in the first place, right? I keep feeling pulled towards the kind of a Gemini. Like I said, there's a nerdish quality. They don't believe in crystals, and they don't believe in fortune telling. They don't believe in tarot cards or none of that stuff. This is a very A-type personality, intellectual type of personality, kind of a know-it-all personality, but quirky and lovable, all at the same time. Not a despised person, not a hated person, or none of these bad things at all. That when you're around somebody, because I know people that are like this, they wear on you. When you first meet them, you're like, okay, there's something different about that person. And then you really quickly find out what it is that's different about them. It's up to you if you're going to be able to accept that person or you're not going to be able to accept that person. I accept people usually, and not sorry that I did. Yes, they were nerdy, and yes, they were anal, and they had their quirks, and they had their habits, but as long as you gave them room to be themselves, they were fine. And they were very lovable, and they were very funny, and they were fun to be around. If they stepped over a boundary, and sometimes they did, but they never meant to, you just chuck them in there, you nip it in the bud, you say, whoa, I didn't like that. Don't, I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't do that. And, you know, but the thing is that they would turn the tables on you as well. They'd ask you to not do something if it bothered them. You know, this sort of a thing. They're very unique, as I know I've said it many, many times, but they really, really are. This is a card that brings you benefits of love and of wishes to be granted. I would say when this card shows up, luck is on your side. The universe is smiling down on you. All right? And this card also brings a romantic love as well. You'll either enter into a new love, it'll be a love at first sight, or the relationship, Gemini, that you're already in takes a new turn, and the bonds and the love deepen, and a commitment gets made. It could be followed by a wedding and celebrations as well. There's a lot more socializing going on for some of you. The advice of the card is that you're perfectly placed to make all your dreams come true right now, right now, right now. So you go ahead and you plan, you make your wish, you open up to the universe, Open up and communicate. Let your emotions come forward. That's what makes this world go round. That's our purpose for being here. It's got to do with love, and it's got to do with emotions. And you can't just pose a question and say, I'm going to stand, I'm going to talk to the universe. Hey, you know that red Jeep that I've always wanted? You know, could you bring that to me, please? Thank you. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. We have to open up our heart. We have to take the time. We have to make the time. You know, I don't feel right asking the universe to bring me a red Jeep. I'm really good at manifesting, but I don't feel, that doesn't feel right to me. It's like wasting a wish. Wish for something more important. You know, I'm not shallow. I'm not Gemini. I'm a Cancer though. You know, close enough. Sometimes I think I pick up a trait or two of Gemini as I feel that. I get that black and white. It's yes or no. There's no color in between. It is what it is. I take that attitude sometimes. But you want to make a change into your life. You want to bring love into your life and warmth into your life, contentment and fulfillment. You open that up to the universe, and if you want it bad enough, let those emotions come through. That's what makes things happen. The universe sees that, and it starts to shape and shift everything, events, people, places, and things to bring about. Because you're pulling on that, and you're feeding on that, and it's power. You can create your own future. I created this house. I did. I started when I was really young. I knew what I wanted when I got older. I'm only missing one thing. It's not a red Jeep. I'm missing one thing that was part of the picture. I always wanted to live on the Bay of Fundy, and now I am. The other thing, I always wanted a house like this with real, this is not that paneling stuff. This is real pine boards, single boards, one by one, nailed on, ceiling as well. They're the real deal. I wanted a pine cottage. I wanted a pine cottage. And I wanted it for a long time, and I used to yearn, and I'd feel it. It's where I wanted to be. And I wanted to be waking up and looking at my beautiful Bay of Fundy. The only thing that I'm missing is in that picture, because I started dreaming about this at the age of about 16 or 17, I kid you not. And in that picture was a small little dark forest green MGB ragtop. And I don't know why, but I fell years ago. Not a real practical car today, but back in the day it was. And they're the cutest little thing, and they're perfect for driving along the coast on a hot summer day, putting their top down. They're easy on gas. They're just tiny little things. But I don't like riding a stick. You know, I had 3 kids. I had to keep one hand free for reaching in the back and straightening them. And I'm just joking. I used to tell people that, though. And they'd look at me and they didn't know how to take me. You smack your kids around in the back seat when you're driving. Oh, my goodness. Some people are gullible. But it's manifestation. It's bringing things to yourself. If something seems over, I would never ask the universe for a brand new vehicle. It seems selfish, and it seems self-centered. And to me, it's like, to go way off of left field. I don't really think this way, but I'm just saying as an example. It's like having the genie pot, the one that you rub, and you get 3 wishes. I wouldn't waste them on asking for a brand new vehicle. I would put them on something of substance. Is what I would ask for, something of substance in my life. Bring me good people in my life. Bring in somebody to love, someone to love me. You know, this sort of a thing. Somebody balanced, somebody that's, you know, but you want good people in your life. Please keep the dark people away. You know, we want a lot of light in our lives. There are more important things. But for you to make your wish, because I'm feeling for you that it's not a superficial wish. You go ahead and make your wish, it will come true. The timing is right now. This is where you'll find your success. You are perfectly placed to have your dreams come through. This is just wonderful. Your keywords are happiness and support. Forms of entertainment. It shows a good time coming, being had by all. This is wonderful. Harmony at home. Relationships. Love, peace, and a sense of harmony. And that's a beautiful card. I don't know why this reading feels so long. No wonder it's 53 minutes. I don't know if it's me that's dragging, or there's The cards are getting heated up and there's more stuff coming through. The last card we're looking at here is the Page of Wands. Creativity. This is an exciting card. You get your life gets another energy boost when this card comes into play. There's no more talk. You know how people talk and all they do is flip and talk. I don't want to say I hate people like that, but I hate it when they do that. When all people do is ever talk a good talk, but they never walk the talk. Somebody only does that to me once and then I turn away. You know, when somebody says they're going to do something, don't tell me about it. Just do it. I've actually had this happen like twice over the years. My dating years and, you know, all that stuff. 2 men do this to me. Never gave me the time of day after that. And both showed up at my door to pick me up. And these are 2 people that this was like a first or second date kind of thing, where I wasn't expecting anything and I was hoping they weren't either. But they said something really stupid and it really irked me and I thought, I don't like that about people. And if you're doing that this early in, the first or second time you've met me, that means you're too comfortable with me. You're assuming a lot and I don't like it. And both of them said, one of them said they were going to do something, and I can't remember, and it was something big, right? I was going to do this for you. But then this reason, and that reason, and that reason. And it was like, listen, after a second, it was like, not even hearing them, just hearing that, wah, 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 wah. And I could just see deflating, you know, going over like a lead balloon. You know, the balloon was rising, and then they went and opened their mouth, and it's just that people's actions say an awful lot. The second person, I was going to stop and I was going to buy you 6 beautiful pink roses because I think they'd look good and I thought you'd like them. And then I got distracted and I had to run here and I had to run there and you know, I was going again. Wah, 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 wah. They're always going to and never do. All right. If I'm not worth $12 to some man, then I'm not worth anything to anybody. And that's just the way I viewed it. I learned really, really young about human nature and watching people take action and watching people just talk about it. Shut the hell up. Don't tell me what you were going to do. If you didn't do it, why bring it up? Why is that going to make me want you more, baby? Because you told me about it, that you thought about me? Bull crap. You know what I mean? No. And I'm a real easy person going, but I don't like bullshit. Don't waste my flippin' time. Don't even think about it. You want to hit a nerve with me? Feed me bullshit and then let me find out? No. You won't get a chance to do it again. And that's the way it is. And that's the way, Gemini, you don't let anybody treat you any differently than that either. This card here shows you socializing an awful lot, being out and about. This page actually is bringing you good news. Good news is on the way to you, Gemini, and it's probably going to affect your financial situation, your security, and your foundation for the good. For the good. This is an exciting card to come into your reading and into your life. There's a real good chance of creative projects coming your way. Travel is being highlighted here as well. Some of you may be traveling, which is going to be nice. This card's good all the way around. There's no negative connotation within this card whatsoever. This is a card about self-expression. This is a card about Spirit and Tarot wanting you to start exploring your own passions. Exploring your own passions. Letting your colors come through. Allowing pops of color to come into your life. You can be both logical and emotional. You are a human being. You're going to have those things whether you like them or not. And Gemini, again, they're the quirkiest. They can be difficult to read. And other times they read like an open book. But these are all good things coming to you. Don't muck it up, Gemini. Cute as you are, don't muck it up. Can Communications are going to be flowing. Messages are becoming. Your lines of communication opening up and getting very, very, very busy. New work on the horizon for some of you. Your self-expression becoming more fluid, more pronounced, becoming more talkative. You're going through a transition at this time of your life, and that's what this is all about. We're going to stop it right there because we're at 59 minutes and 25 seconds, and I feel bad for the moderators. I don't think we were that busy. Anyway, maybe I'll be surprised when I pop over, but I got the feeling it's a holiday evening. It's late, and I'm sorry about that, but at least we got her done. I'd like to thank the moderators very much. I'm going to pop over. I hope everybody enjoyed this reading that had a chance to catch it. If not, they'll catch it in replay. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, especially for the moderators, 4 and Hummingbird. I think you're the only 2 in here tonight, aren't you? And that's fine. So I'm glad. I hope it wasn't too busy for you fellas. Also, if you like the reading and you want a private reading, look down below this video window in the show more or the description box. Read through once, and you grab my email. I use that for everything. You just ship me off an email, and I will get back to you, and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and all that good stuff to the channel. Thank you very much for that. Shares are a big deal. Your comments are important as well, and they're all looked at eventually. Sometimes I get behind. I can get behind by 500, and they're sitting there staring me in the face, but I get through them eventually. So thank you very much for taking the time to do that, though. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate it when people take the time to send a message or make a comment of some kind. I wish everybody the best of the best, always at the end of the readings, always, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I want people to enjoy their summer. I know what it's like to not be able to, and I wish for everybody to never feel that way, to get out and enjoy your summer. If love is coming your way, remain open to it, give it a chance. Don't become a bitch like me. Most men are afraid of me, and I don't know why. I'm just a warm, lovable person. No, they don't. There's something there. I guess it's called respect. Maybe. I don't know. I won't play dumb. If I don't know something, I say I don't know it, explain it. But if I know, I say my mind, I speak my mind, kind of a thing. Thank you for filling everybody in on that for 30%. Yeah, they do. They take 30%. Billionaires, billionaire corporations, Google and YouTube, and they snap up 30% of every single donation. PayPal takes such a small amount, you don't even feel it. That's their business, is to be used to move money through and move money around. But anyways, I see an interesting July for you, Gemini. I see some personality changes coming. Your character's going to change a little bit. You're going to be more open to what's going on around you. Where we started out with the reading on getting more in touch with the natural elements of life and living in earth. That is going to break something in you. It's going to soften some edges. You're not going to be, in this square box where everything's black or it's white. You're going to be softened and rounded, and color's going to come in, and it's going to be a beautiful thing for you. If you'd like to, you can join us on Facebook as well. If you're not, against Facebook. We are closed and we are private, and we're a very wonderful group. We are drama-free. We are supportive all the time. They've carried me through so many things. It's not funny. This cold should have knocked me right into my bed for about 6 weeks. It started out real rough for about 2 days. And finally I gave in. I said, I'm going to ask for help. And it seemed to stop it in its tracks. It sounds bad when I cough, but I feel great now, and I did not feel good at all. I thought I was scared. I am going to be knocked back in, because the last cold I had turned out to be something, and it was 6 weeks. And I was drained. I was exhausted. I looked like hell. I'd lost weight because I couldn't. It was just a horrible, horrible cold. And this scared, and they stopped it. They did. All this stuff is residual. You know, the getting rid of the crap out of your system. But I feel great. My appetite's back. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm sleeping better. The whole 9 yards. Come and join us in there. It's not Hotel California. You know? You can come anytime you like, but you can never leave. It doesn't work that way. You can leave if you're not happy there, if you're not comfortable. But every day's a learning curve in there. Every day we teach each other something. It's a beautiful place to be, and I know I'm yammering on well over an hour. Did I write it down this time? Oh dear. I don't think I did I? Shoot. If I did, I don't know where I put it. I thought I had written it down where the reading started. That means I'm going to have to go back and search through. That's all right. I don't mind. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, join us on Facebook. Everybody else, if you're looking for me, you don't find me either in the channel or on Facebook. I'm usually going to be found down below at the cove, walking on the beach, along the water's edge, that bring the highest and the mightiest tides on the whole planet, the beautiful, the bountiful, the bodacious, the Bay of Fundy. That's where you'll find me. I keep one eye. I'm a high tide junkie. But the tides going out are just as dramatic, if not more at times. It's a beautiful place to be. Please keep the peace in so you can share your love and your light out with the rest of the world. That's what it's all about. And remember to watch your thoughts, watch your actions. Keep your music turned down at 2:56 a.m. My neighbor's still going. Out in the middle of nowhere here, and you hear thump, 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 thump. Anyways, watch your thoughts. Follow through with your actions. You're living under the microscope of the universe, and it takes notes. Everything is noted. Thank you so much for being here. No, thank you for holding on. Same with you, Hummingbird. Same with you. Good for you. You head to the Bay next weekend. All right. Thank you so much for being here. It is a Canada Day overload. You're right. It really, really is. That was a complex reading for Gemini. I hope nobody was offended. I just deliver the messages. But you guys stand alone. You sure do. Maybe you're small in numbers, but you sure are mighty. That's for sure. Anyways, I wish you the best of the best in July. Everybody, try to make it back for mid-July. I'm going to try. Anyways, we hope to see you then. Good night, Four. Good night, Hummingbird. Good night, everybody else that took the time to be here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye for now.